so emotionally taxing. But you do it, don't you? You do it you do whatever you can to support your child. And,
Absolutely,
that was the only thing that pushed me through that whole process. So, yes, we got transport to the school and we got the fees paid.
Right.
And the school's meeting needs. So it was a really positive outcome, but I felt like I had pulled through several hedges backwards to get there.
Yeah. Well, that's a lot to have gone through. I think we've covered a lot of these. I suppose in terms of a final decision about school, there was an aspect where it wasn't solely your choice. I mean, was there anything, just talking in general terms, was there anything that led you to ruling out, stepping back a bit, ruling out the other schools? What in particular led you to ruling out a given school?
Distance from home.
Right.
I mean, we could. I mean, it would. We'd have to leave crack of dawn to get to the Dippy Surrey.
Right.
Even getting to Fairley in the early days before we secured transport. Was a challenge. We'd have to be at Surbiton Station crack of dawn, getting the fast train into Waterloo. It was very difficult.
Did that ever? But obviously Fairley had a distance aspect itself.
Yeah, but it was doable, and
right.
Also that was not the most important thing for me.
Right.
It was a factor, but it was not the most important thing. The most important thing was that Max was happy and he could learn.
Right. Okay.
I couldn't bear thinking about him being miserable.
Right.
Like he was at the prep, and me paying a ridiculous amount of money to send him to a place where he's miserable. It was an enormous amount of guilt.
Right.
I wish that I'd acted sooner.
Okay. You talked about just looking at my questions here, you talked about activities, processes and events that you took place before the decision.
I mean, I just feel like, you have a choice.
Yeah.
And you make that choice, and then actually it turns out it's not your choice. It's a kind of, you have to share the power of making that decision with other people.
Yeah.
And I understand that to a certain extent. I just felt, because we're asking for public money, but, I just felt that it didn't need to go to tribunal. It just didn't. The evidence was there.
Right. How did you feel when you heard, yes, you've won?
It was a relief. A huge relief. And I was really happy that I wouldn't have to move Max, or I wouldn't have to, sell a kidney to fund the school. It was a huge relief. But at the same time, I guess I have a lot of bitterness about the whole process, to be honest, because of what it put us all through.
Yeah, it's understandable. Did you ever reconsider that choice? I mean, you know...
No, not once I'd visited the school, and especially not after...
Not even, when it was all going on, did you not think, maybe...
No. The only way Max was going to move from that school is if I ran out of kidneys.
Of course, because he was already in the school.
He was already in the school, and that was one of the reasons I think that kind of confirmed my decision. He was learning, he was happy.
Right.
So it kind of reinforced that I'd done the right thing.
Yeah. And I'm sure you've pretty much talked about how you felt about the process. You said you used the word harrowing. But
yeah.
So, what advice would you give to other parents who are ever in the same situation as you?
Get a good lawyer.
Okay.
Get a really good lawyer, and be prepared that this is going to get ugly, and you're going to spend a lot of money.
Right.
You're going to spend an awful lot of money on independent experts, on not only the kind of assessment phase, but also the kind of them advocating for you in court. And we had to go to the High Court, the Royal Courts of Justice. The whole process is so anti-parent. It's so anti-parent. So you kind of, and I think that it's far more adversarial then
Right.
you know,
the teams.
Even my lawyer kind of.
Do you think your experience was exceptional?
No. After talking to other parents, I don't think it is exceptional.
I mean, not in a brilliant. I mean, as a not normal. You think you're not the norm?
I don't understand what you mean.
Sorry, exceptional is often used as a superlative.
No, I know. But what do you mean about what about my experience?
What do you think that maybe you think other parents that you don't think you think your experience was quite common?
I wouldn't say it's quite common, but I don't know. I mean,
or not uncommon.
I don't know. Is the honest I don't know. Is the honest answer. I think there's other parents that I know and have spoken to at Fairley that have gone through a very similar experience, not necessarily with the same local authority, but and sometimes they haven't won, or everything they wanted, so not all of them got transport. And
right.
So, but most of them seem to have got what the plan, which is, and the most important bit, which is to get the fees paid, really, and to make sure you've got that school, because it is an amazing school. But yeah, I don't know if there's any advice I would give to a parent that's in a similar situation to me, that has resources to a certain extent. I would say get a lawyer and fight.
What if they didn't have similar resources? I mean,
I don't know. I think certain things have to change. Like, I mean, there's always charitable organisations that offer legal help. There's, I think, there's one that we looked at. Oh, I've forgotten its name though. What's it called? Oh, it'll come to me later.
Yeah,
anyway, but yeah, I think that the point is, it shouldn't have to be. You shouldn't have to have a lawyer. We shouldn't have to go to this imposing early Victorian building that scares you. It scares you because you kind of hear all these huge criminal cases.
So do you think it's almost like it's designed to put you off?
Oh, there were many stages, that I think were designed to put me off. But the whole kind of, we're going to tribunal. That should. I would imagine lots of parents might fold at that point, but I didn't. I don't know if people. I mean, the thing. I'm
coming back to an earlier question there. Did it ever go through your mind?
No.
Confronted with this.
No. Never. I mean, there were lots of things I would stress about, like like going to tribunal and the costs and things, but no. Okay. I think I was just kind of driven by that guilt that I felt.
Okay.
As well.
Okay. So, looking back, with the benefit of hindsight, what do you've talked about this, really. You shouldn't have to go through what you went through. But what did you feel? I mean, now honing on some specific aspects, what did you think about the actual range of placements that were available?
To me? Well, I think I've kind of touched on this already. That I feel that because I've got resources and because you have a wider range of choice.
You think your circumstances meant you potentially had a wider range?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. I mean, I had a wide. I mean, I could consider the independent sector. I could, which I don't think is for everybody. And people might be put off by, and I'm not surprised they would, by going, having to fight for it. But at the same time, I thought it was necessary. And, I think it also, what information is publicly available doesn't really help you make a decision.
Right.
I don't remember.
Do you think that's because of the format? You talked about accessibility earlier on, or do you think it's just the wrong information?
Wrong is not the right word. It's not detailed enough to make you think, oh, that's a possibility. Oh, that's a possibility.
Right.
It doesn't, it doesn't really talk about the range of provision, how it's a particular school. Mm-hmm. It doesn't tell you the success rates. It doesn't tell, you have to kind of go to Ofsted or ISI reports to kind of find out. You have to kind of do your